Hello, welcome to my crypto analysis updates video. I'll be doing it on English this time. So last time I talked about three key levels for Ethereum, which were 3600, 4000, and 4800. Now it did reach 3600 recently, just above it. And has since retraced down to about 3,500. I did sell a little bit, about 10% of my ETH, just above 3,600. And I had bought it down in this range around average buy price of around 22, 2,300. I did buy it down at around 16, 1,700 as well. So yeah. I'm up over 50% at 3,600 and sold just about 10% of it. Just to recap how I got these levels. 1 second. I used primarily Fib tools, Fibonacci retracement tool. Here at the 0.886 level, it hits right at 3,600 and something. And the 3600 level is also a major resistance level from previous times. It has been resistance back in January 2025, back over here in June 24, over here in April 24, and also all the way back in the last bull market of 2022 and 21 and so on. So yeah, a major resistance level we hit and have retraced down. The next major resistance level is just around 4,000 because it has also been resistance a couple of times before, both in the last 2021 cycle top and now in 24 and yeah. And the last major resistance level after that, which is coming up, is around 4,800, which is the all-time high of 2021. So at each of these levels, I have and will be selling 10% each. So by the time it reaches for the 800, around 5,000, I'll have sold around 30% of my ETH. And I'll use that to flip it into altcoins, mainly large cap altcoins and maybe also some mid caps, because I believe that when ETH breaks its all-time high, that is when a lot of altcoins, smaller altcoins, will also start to have their run. Now, to look at ETH on a bit of a bigger perspective, let me just remove this so it doesn't annoy anyone too much. Yeah, after 4,000, I believe around, let's take a fib from last bull cycle peak to the bear market low, right here, and look at the extensions from here. So it's 1272 level, overlaps almost pretty well with the 1.618 of the fib from December 24 to April 25. So this is a major level after the next major level after 5,000 breakout, all-time high breakout. There are little levels here before that at 1.414 and 1.272, where it might consolidate or face a little resistance and stuff. But I think the big major next level is at 1272/1.618, right around 7,700 to 8,000. That is where I will take a bit more of my profits, probably around 20 to 30%. So by this time I'll be out around the majority of my ETH. Now, the major expected target that I expect ETH to hit at the end of the cycle, if we take a look at the big fib from the last bull market high to bear market low, the golden ratio extension zone at 1.618 hits 14,000, and the current fib from last year to this year, 2272 point is right at 16,000. So I do believe around 14 to 16,000 will be the expected top of this bull market, which is around 5x from now. If we take a look at Bitcoin's past price history over the past 4-year cycles, and see where they landed as Fibonacci's retracement tools levels, we take the from a high 2011 to a low 2011 Fibonacci's tool. The next bull market top of 2013 hit almost exactly the 2272 at $1,085. If we take another fib from the 2013 high to the low of 2015, the next bull market high also reached almost exactly the 2272 level at 16,500. And if we take the bull market high of 2017 to the low of 2018, the next bull market high was at the 1.618 level of 61, well, around 60 to 70,000. So yeah, these are pretty significant levels. 2 out of 3 times it has hit the 2272 level, and the last bull market it hit 1.618. I do believe that's because it was a little bit held back of certain narratives that I won't go into too much this time, but stuff like the Russian and Ukrainian war, and it was around the time of COVID, and a lot of negative things were going on. There wasn't as much comfort in investing into risk assets back then, which I think is kind of the opposite today. There have been a lot of positive news around crypto and investing in digital assets lately. Robinhood CEO was talking about cryptocurrencies being the leading digital assets and stuff like that. And also, Trump just signed the bill of the new crypto regulatory frameworks and stuff. So many good things happening. So I do think if we take a look at the fib range from this 21 cycle high to 22 bear market low, the 2272 level is a possibility. I'm not saying it will hit, but a 2272 level of 400 and around 50,000, 450,000 or so is a possibility. Very optimistic, I know, but let's say it hits the 1.618 level, which is what it did the last time. That's still around 180, 100 and wait, there we go, 173,000 ish, there around. Now we can see that in the last, every time it topped out in the last markets, it did go right above the 2272 target or the 1.618 target. It always wicked or hit slightly higher than that. So I do think if the 1.618 level is at 173,000, 180,000 is likely as the minimum target of this cycle. Yeah, and anything in between this and the 2272 is a possibility, not guaranteed, but it should be taken into consideration, I think. So I do think 1.618 level of 14,000 for ETH is not too optimistic. As a really optimistic top would be around 22 to 23,000, maybe even beyond that. But I don't expect it to actually hit that. I expect it to hit around 10 to 14,000 this cycle and the next, who knows how long, maybe 8, 9 months, maybe it's only 6 months, we'll see. So my current strategy is I have 30% of ETH sold at in the next 3 resistance zones at around 7,700. I'll have sold another 20% or so, 30%, and another 20% at, or 20 to 30% at the 10k at the 1414 level, and another 20% at 14k, which will leave me 90% of ETH have been sold and 10% left to play around with in case, just if it goes up to 20k or something insane. Not something I expect to happen, but merely a bonus. If I lose the last 5-10%, it doesn't really matter because I've already made my profits before that. So only bonus after that. Yeah. So what will actually happen with those profits that I take from ETH? Most of them will be flipped into altcoins other than ETH. Altcoins that haven't had a big run up yet, like BTC and Ethereum have, but sooner or later will start moving upwards, I believe. I'll stop this video here because it was a lot of in-depth on ETH. I will make another video on a continuation of this one, let's say.